Today, we're going to talk about prioritizing recovery and why and how to implement this. So, the reason we're doing this one is because even though we've covered it a little bit in the sleep video, and we've covered this a little bit in the previous one on managing stress, we're going to kind of tie it together a little bit in prioritizing why recovery matters. And when we don't do it, when we don't look at it as a part of our fitness and what we do outside of the gym, making an impact on what we do inside the gym, we really won't run into frustrations. A lot of clients are just not aware of how important this part of the process is of getting back to training and training well. And this keeps you from a lot of gains, whether you're an aesthetic client, whether you're a performance client, or whether you just want to live long and prosper. Prioritizing recovery is always going to be a factor. The reason for this is because dose response always requires another dose response of recovery. So if you were to have a chart and you were going to have your stress levels going up on one side of the continuum, and then on the other side is going to be recovery. Well, if stress is constantly going up, but recovery is not matching, we are leading down toward burnout. Excuse me. And because of that, when we don't think about the numbers hitting the same, so if we're hitting a 7 on our RPE, but we're hitting a 5 on our RPE of recovery, well, that's continuing to get the slope to go down. And down is always heading towards burnout. So I like to show that visually whenever I have clients in person, or I can write that on like a chart that I do in the Zoom call with people. And the reason is because when you see that visualization, you start to realize, wow, recovery is extremely important. And then I have their intention. So many athletes and former athletes think more training equals more results, right? But without recovery, you're digging a hole without ever filling it back up. Over time, this leads to fatigue, plateaus, and injury. Recovery isn't passive. It's an intentional part of the program. And the best athletes in the world, right, they train so hard, but they also recover really, really hard. Matter of fact, they probably recover even harder. So why recovery matters. It restores your energy systems. It repairs your muscles and your connective tissues. It rebalances hormones. It improves mental sharpness and motivation in the gym, right? When we're not recovered, we don't have a lot of motivation in the gym. So sleep is your first one. It's a non-negotiable, right? This is the most, if you want to biohack your way to fitness, there's no better way to do it than sleep. Active recovery, walking, mobility, light cycling, swimming, things like that. Huge. We're finding more and more evidence that zone 2 recovery is the best form of movement you can do to help get back into heavy strength training. Nutrition, fuel with enough calories and protein. Too many people undereat. Look back at our nutrition videos for this. Hydration, even slight dehydration can delay recovery and also take your training output down by 10 to 15%, some studies have shown. Recovery tools, stretching, foam rolling, massage, sauna, cold exposure, right? These are all great biohacking, but notice I put this at the end because the other ones are more important because you can do them daily. So here's our challenge, right? Number 1 this week, I want you to add at least one planned recovery session for the week. So we've built them into the Revived Athlete, weekly schedule. But the other thing I want you to think about is, what are other ways I can be doing this? What are other sessions of recovery like mobility or light walking that I can be adding in? Number 2, I want you to track your sleep, your soreness, and mood for the next 7 days. If you have an Aura Ring or a Whoop, it's a great thing you can even upload for the coaches to look at. But that's a great thing for you to see and have metrics on. But I would just kind of give yourself, if you don't have those things, an RPE every morning when you wake up after you go to the bathroom and brush your teeth. Just write down, am I 7 today? Am I an 8 today? Am I 5 today? Am I a 2? Where am I at? And then number 3, try one new recovery method, mobility on a cold plunge, one that you think you have access to that you would enjoy, belly breathing, stretching before bed, Epsom salt bath, something like that, and see how you feel. See if it's something you can add in and keep it going.